Let's go! This week's crazy, guys. So the craziest week in a long time that we've had with, not with just with the XRP, but with crypto in general, and then the whole market and everything that's going on. So XRP nearly hit $3 with all the rumors of the ETFs and then all the bullish news. Let's talk about that a little bit. And then I do know clickbait a little bit, but I want to talk about all of the different price predictions that are going to start popping off right now, guys. People are going to all of a sudden be like crypto gurus, and a bunch of people are going to start popping back in, those people who are quiet. And so I want you to weed out the real ones from the fake ones. You can weed me out even if that's what you want. But what I'm going to speak about is what it actually takes to hit $100 or even $1,000. It will hit that. I think it's just a matter of the time. But let's be real. Let's talk about what it'll take and then what are the milestones. I'm pretty confident that it's going to hit it. I just don't know if all of the catalysts hit by this year, then it'll probably get this year. But realistically, adoption takes quite a bit. And we'll talk about July 14th and what that date means, XRP. And then we'll talk about the institution adoption, and then also let's talk about what happened this week, the highs and then the lows, and then what that means, and get into the three parts. So I kind of them out right there. 3 points that I want to get out to you today real quick. The scale, XRP, and what it's going to take to get $100 to $100 and even $1,000. And then 2 we'll talk about is this week's highs and lows and what that means. And then we'll get into the third part, which is the third point, which is milestones and catalysts to watch. Make sure that you know that these levels, watch my channel. Let's quickly get into this, and then I want to jump, go grab some stuff, but I'll let you know what I'm going to do at the end of this short video. But so for point 1, what $100 and $1,000 actually mean for XRP and what it's going to take to get there. Let me pop over to Perplexity over here and then read out some of the facts and some of the stuff that list that it's going to take, what it's going to take to get to $100 or $1,000. So first of all, market cap, going to take a shit ton of market cap. So it's like, if you look at $100 market cap or $100 XRP to the market cap, that's like $10 trillion. That's a lot of money, but doable. And if you look at even $1,000, gosh, I don't even know, that's like more than the whole GDP. What is like 100 trillion? You just multiply that. But at the end of the day, though, I don't think that that's the catalyst that we should be looking at. I don't think that's the right requirement for us to be looking at, because the way the XRP works is it's different. Adoption rate's different as well too. So it's a different type of asset, and then the way that it works, it's not necessarily going to work that way. Maybe I'll do a video kind of break that down so that way I can explain it a little bit better. I'm short on time today, so I want to try and get this out to you guys. It's been a crazy week. So we're going to need regulatory clarity, the things, and that's already happening and then adoption. And then the spot ETF approval, that's already at 95% approval rate, right? And major institutional adoption. So if the global banks and financial institutions accelerate their use of XRP for cross-border payments and settlements, that demand spike, right? Ripple really, Dutch really, you have to drink your water. Like, okay, so, we've got like a lot of Ripple's pursuit of a U.S. federal banking charter and expanding partnerships in Asia and Middle East. Their own bank. I think that's insane. Like, these are all catalysts and, great milestones to hit, and it's going to hit like 100%. I believe in Ripple. At the end of the day, they do a great job. A lot of the innovation that's happening with XRPL, the ledger, and and utility growth within the DeFi. I talked a little bit about this in my past video, so I'll link it up here, with how decentralized finance integration works and all the different capabilities for you to make more money. If that's your goal, and then I would hope, right, because that's why you're watching this channel. And then all new network boosts, the chain stuff with Ethereum. There's going to be more. They're going to do a lot more integrations with all the different tool sets that are out there. So it's a game changer. Market liquidity, there's a thin supply. Like there's only a set supply, kind of like Bitcoin, right? All the cryptocurrency. So that burns on a daily basis, guys. And so we're not even counting for all the burns that happen, which will then make the value of the coin so much more. So when that happens, we're gonna, and then this is gonna be swift and pretty dramatic. People get that supply shock. I know you say that a ton, but it's gonna pop off. So those are some factors, for it to $100 and $1,000. The acceleration of XRP, it's gonna happen. It's already happening now. I know that we haven't reached all-time highs, and so I want to keep us pretty grounded, and I want to make sure that you're aware of and then have a plan. So it's important to note that reaching $1,000, it's still going to require extraordinary global adoption, integration of these core systems and financial systems, but it's an opportunity. So if diamond hands, stick it through. You guys are a financial advisor, but I talked about it, getting it $1.90, and now what is it at? The high to this week was $2.96. So think about that, 190 to 296. I think I picked up some more at like 186 or something. It was like a small peak, and then you pick up some more. So same exact thing, it's to buy low, sell high. If you don't want to sell, then just diamond hand it and then keep it for your moon bag. But just watch for that, guys, and plan for it to hit. And a lot of people don't talk about what it's going to take to get there, but this is what it's going to take. You're going to need adoption, you're going to need innovation, you're going to need growth. You're going to need to understand the supply shock, and then all of the different regulatory clarities and all the ETF approvals. So that's a little bit about kind of point 2, which is weeks high and low. So we already talked about that. I'm just gonna toss it real quick. And all of this didn't happen randomly, right? So from 191 to 297, that didn't happen. All of that was from all the catalysts, crypto market, economy, everything just in. And I had a feeling that this was gonna happen because I was just like, oh, this good news is gonna happen, just trailed a little bit later. And so we're going to need to make sure that we're watching that. We have a couple things that's going to happen July 14th, one of it being like pro shares for ETF. We've got whale accumulation that's already picking up. And also we've got the ISO 20022 that's going to be mandated for both the banks to start switching to use, which is XRP, right? So July 14th is the date to mark and then watch. I usually don't call out dates, and I don't say, we don't, because they can change the calendar, right? And I just look at the charts. So I still stay with, but I'm looking forward to July 14th and see what's going to happen that day. But if you guys think about this a little, back in 2017, right? It was like XRP was like a couple cents, not even a couple cents. I don't know how much it was, but it blew up I don't know how much is it, 300 and something thousand%. Here, let's see. Let me see. Let me take it real quick. Let's see. So 2017, XRP hit 35,000%. So it was a little bit less than a penny, and then it jumped up in 2018 to 340. Is that right? Damn. Is that right? Yeah, January 1st of 2017, it was less than a penny. It was 0.0063. Investopedia is where I'm getting it. May 16th at 40 cents, and then December hit over $1. That's crazy, guys. So it can happen again. Market cap what? All that. It can happen again. You get 35,000% from 2017, and then if you think about it, even up until 2018, 340 was peak, and then you're looking a bit about it. Wow, that's bad. That's crazy. And so then let's take a look at it from today's perspective. You're gonna capture 35. So of where it is at today. Let's say 257 today. It can go down. Let's do the math. That's $902 coin. So just based on historical patterns, and then all the adoption rates, the opportunities are out there. And think about that a little bit, guys. That the realistic outlook is around I don't know, $10, $15, $20. I'm gonna throw out a bunch of different numbers. My target is $5 first to hit. First actually all-time highs, 340, and then $5. It's, I don't know. So it's just like, point is just, I don't know, shoot it up to 900. Start preparing for what you're gonna do with all of that. So guys, make sure you have diamond hands. Stay out there. I am gonna start. So what I've been wanting is, and I used to race a lot and then go to the track as well. And one of the things that I wanted to get back into was, cars and getting back into my roots. And I'm still debating on drifting or just doing some track, time attack times. But at the end of the day, what I want to do is get my license, my SCAA license, and then also my FA. So I need to start learning a lot of that. First, I'm going to just start getting a simulator and then just start sim racing. So that's what I'm going to go pick up now. I'm not going to go pick up the full sim, but start off with Gran Turismo first, start getting my feet wet. I don't even have a PS5, so I need to go buy that first and then see like what else I can do with it. So I'll probably start streaming that if that's something that you as well too. See my journey with that. But I'm gonna start preparing now, start making sure that, get myself set up. So that's something I wanna do, with my time, and then build, a life that I want. And so that's just the freedom that I'm gonna try and build now. I'm not gonna dump all my money into cars just yet. And I'm gonna make sure that all of these investments are still good and solid. Just preparing myself, making ready for when go up or go down. If it goes down, at least I have something that I'm learning. I'm gonna start learning sim racing and have that skill set. So if I wanted to go out on the track, I can. I still got mine. Got to catch up on a lot of work, and then make sure that I got some stuff going on. But yeah, guys, kind of went on a ramble. There's a ton more that I want to talk to you guys about, but these are the 3 points that I wanted to get out there, and I gotta head out. Diamond hands. If you like this type of video, please like, share, subscribe. Have a good one. Catch you guys later.